you could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing through every inch of her body.
Hi, this is Leva Bates, aka Blue Pants, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Seems like the next activity is mealtime? How quaint. Ash?
You were expecting what? Capture the flag? Do you know how complicated it is to run a game like that? Much more so than sitting and talking.
I know, Jazz. Jazz says, I mean, you are on Killer Island.
You arrive at the cookout area to find an assortment of picnic tables scattered around. What are you expecting? Some sort of grand hall with a huge banquet table? This ain't some prestigious fantasy epic like you'd find on cable. Dwight and Claudette usher you to your seat, but there's very limited seating directly around you. And oh, great, terrific. It seems that everybody wants to sit next to you. Even better is that they don't want to sit next to certain other people either. To start, no one wants to sit next to Trapper. Meanwhile, he refuses to sit next to Rafe or Trickster. Oh yeah, Trickster is here. Surprise? Yeah, well, they don't call him expected stuff. I'm sorry, even I get nervous around crowds of killers, and my whole shtick gets a little flustered.
Okay, kitty.
Hey there, you're looking good, Billy. Real good.
If I had a shotgun, I'd shoot you for that.
And we literally can't let Huntress and Trapper sit together. No, seriously, their arms are too big. They can't fit at the table if they sit side by side. Look at this, we can't even fit everyone on screen at the same time. You probably think it was an error, but it's not. It was completely intentional. Let that be a lesson to you. Every error you think you see is a choice. Get that?
Every error you think you see is a choice. I think we're probably gonna have to keep that in mind because something like that's going to be happening later in the game.
Okay, Dwight and Claudette are directing traffic. You sit on one side. The rest of them will sit opposite you. Huntress and Trapper can sit at the ends with their enormous, sexy arms.
Arms can be sexy. Now that everyone is seated, we can begin dinner. Tonight's meal was prepared slowly and carefully with both love and hate for 12 hours over a spit. We hope you all enjoy. We really, really hope you do.
Hey, you didn't actually tell us what you're serving. What are we eating?
It's meat. Seasoned with a specific number of special herbs and spices we simply can't divulge. Oh my god. Missed opportunity on your stream time. Jazz is saying it should have been Hook Me Up, Senpai. Well, Jazz, if you want to change it, exclamation point set title. I really don't care.
I'm not, who knows if we're going to hook them up? We might just generally hook them. My favorite. Meat is good. Meat is murder. Which you'd know, considering what you've been up to. Who are you to get judgy now? I'm just sharing facts. You need to murder something, eat its meat, so that's like technically true. Technically, two is the best kind of two. Now, okay, enough yapping. Let's eat. Hey, Billy. Thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, that this was a mistake from the beginning.
It's gonna be a person on that spit, right? Or several parts of overlapping people, perhaps.
I wonder if it's the other survivors from the game that we haven't seen. I'm wondering. I'm just wondering if that's what we're about to witness right here.
I haven't seen many pigs wearing palm button-down prints, you know? When you look closely at the spit, you spot what definitely appears to be scraps of fabric sandwiched between some layers of meat.
I think I might be sick. Is there anything else to eat? This took 12 hours. And we do literally literally everything on this island?
Actually, there's one thing you're not doing today. You're not carving up this delectable meal. Wow, he's right for a change. Because I am broader with my broad axe. The perfect tool for easily chopping anything in twain. First, who says twain? Sometimes I swear it's like we're all from completely different historical eras. Second, I'll handle this with my cleaver. Fast, powerful, and clean. At least it's clean when the meat is cooked. No blood. You two and your ridiculous bicep swinging contest. Enough. Grow up. Obviously, my gorgeous katana is the only option. Ovs. The hell it is. Oh, I'll show you both my katana and send you to actual hell if you would like. Please stop, please. I hate when we fight. Or talk, or even when we look at each other in the eye. I can do it. I have the skull of Azeroth. Great, instead of slicing it up, you can club it to second death. Hey, Billy, I know this isn't what you want to eat, but hurry up and volunteer to carve up Felix. I mean dinner.
Felix? Oh no. Oh, Felix is one of the survivors.
Otherwise, this will go on for hours. No hyperbole. They want to agreed over. They once agreed over.
Argued.
They once argued over who had the most effective weapons. 72 straight hours. And it doesn't matter which one does it. When they're done, they will take even longer cleaning their weapon or while explaining the value in maintaining your tools. Despite being a bunch of cold-blooded killers, for some reason they're already terrified of tetanus.
They're terrified of tetanus. Hey, why don't you just let me carve up dinner? Oh, splendid idea. We'd hate for it to get cold. He hated it when it got cold. Here's a machete, freshly sharpened.
Multi-game. Mini-games
Wait,
zero two on
wait.
top a pointer which rotates in a clockwise direction. On the bottom, a target you're going to be pointing at. Sometimes the target's immediately visible, sometimes it's hidden until the pointer arrives. Press a spacebar to stop the pointer over the target to win. Fail to land on the target and you lose. To achieve a perfect success, land on the start of the target area, and not the end. Okay, ready to play, or would you like me to repeat that?
Ready?
Away we go! Slice!
So I have to trying to time it to where it...
Try and time on the green for the perfect, and then anywhere in the red for Perfect.
Oh, it moves. Okay.
Not bad.
Oh, I missed.
You missed completely. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I know. But the thing is, these things are going faster than normal skill checks. God dang it!
You missed completely. That was pretty good. I'd like to see what she could do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I shed it. Machetes are dumb.
Dinner is finally served. For real.
The sounds, especially coming from the masked killers while they eat, which involves lifting their masks and shoving food behind them, are nasty. Spirit, meanwhile, doesn't even eat. She's the only one who doesn't seem to be embracing being dead. They're all dead, right? It's obviously hell, I mean. Come on, we're still trying to be mysterious here. You think mystery becomes a busy? Well, at least they're lifting their masks. That's only 99% as disgusting as it could be if they just tried to match stuff through there.
Spirit, why aren't you hungry?
The two best things about being dead is not having to eat.
That's only one thing.
Think about it, Billy. Number two is no number two. One less thing to think about in the afterlife.
So talk about not giving a shit.
Even if I wanted to eat, I have no idea what would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating around in the spectral farm. Do you see how deep this cut on my abdomen is? I don't think my digestive tract connects anymore. Between the food and the behavior of the group, this might be the worst meal in history. But even worse is they're staring at you. You're not eating. They don't like that. I think they want an explanation why. What do you want to tell them?
See, this is gross. I'm sorry, and look at that seagull. I'm tempted to say, look at the seagull. That's what I'm tempted to say. Although with saying this is gross, it would kind of, I think with her being like goth and antisocial and stuff like that, she literally has no. Yeah, I know. Hey, wow, you ever see a seagull that big? I haven't. That's incredible. Anyway, what we were talking about?
Misdialect. Yeah, she's right, Billy. Pretty lame. Own who you are. Never compromise. Didn't you watch up on this island with no memory of who you are and how you got here? Yeah, you did. Poor thing. You have no idea the last time you ate your meal and you've been standing in the sun.
But the seagull.
Uh-oh. You just made a lot of good points.
I swear.
You're beginning to feel lightheaded.
It waved at me.
Maybe you need to eat to survive here. Either that or someone poisoned you. No, wait, you haven't eaten, so you can't be poisoned. Whatever the answer, you're clearly about to pass out. Oh, hey, it's me. Not sure how I feel about that characterization, but I'll allow it. I am about to here, and I'm about to be one who can help you. That's all I want to you have to pick up about you are really comparable. More than this was probable, or at least very right probable. The trouble now about was the count. Probably we will pick up at least one of them. Because there are even wrong parallels. Many of them lead you out of my eyes. Others lead to something even worse.
What would be worse than our own demise?
Starting scenes over and having to fast forward back to where you were, am I right? Well, this place holds many secrets, even from himself. But the one that truly matters can only be learned with the months of the most important commotion. Whatever I hear. Whatever I hear. Amounts to that, and you will learn the truth. Do you know what I'm about to Vague, mysterious. I've got to give it up to this ocean character. That's some quality early game storytelling.
Chad says experiencing your own demise only to wake up on the island beach again?
Hold on, I'm back. What a piece of advice. You will be many choices every now. Some of them I liked, some of them I did not. It can be best interest to make more choices the flower like.
What does that mean?
You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out of the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feelings inside me. That we're all truly insignificant and the only thing worth pursuing. I have to wonder, how could anyone believe anything else?
You know what? I think from this moment on, I'm going to try to. No, I'm not going to try. I'm going to. Might unlock Spirit on Dead by Daylight and give her a try.
You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could anyone not feel small and alone in the face of such massive nothingness?
Should I say you've always been alone or you found someone special? Ash?
Maybe the spirit's words, maybe the ocean, or maybe it's always been this way, but you suddenly feel connected to spirit's words.
I may not remember much about my life before, but there's one thing I know to be true. I've always been alone. And I always will be alone.
Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean and is looking directly at you now.
It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone.
Together? It's the best that we can hope for.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible. Pretend we know anything. Is that just arrogance? No, I was so dumb. So busy trying to please everyone and be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself. Now I'm all I've got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny, purpose that was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but Spirit looks around to see if there's anyone else on the beach. When she's convinced that it's only you two, she continues. There's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. I'm so stupid.
I wonder if that's tied in anywhere, because I think the only storyline from the lore I remember somewhat, I might be remembering this wrong, but from what I remember, the Oni was the one who I believe murdered the spirit when she was alive. And it had something to do with, I guess, a dragon of some sort. I'd be lying if I told you I knew 100%. But it kind of makes sense to saying that she has a dragon inside of her. You're not stupid. That sounds badass.
Right? I didn't let it out, and then, chop chop. And now that dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge beast. But enough about me. What's inside of you, stranger?
Nothing but darkness, or no dragon, just a lot of fire. I don't know which one to select here. I really don't. Because I don't know which one to say. Nothing but darkness might appeal to her goth side, but also saying no dragon, just a lot of fire. I don't know. She's always, from the way she's being presented in this game, and this is just me thinking out loud for the purpose of the stream, the video, wherever you watch this, wherever. Going for the skinny Asian chick, well, that's on brand. Chance, you know me so well. But the way she's being presented in this game as the goth, I think they would associate more with darkness more than anything, because if she sees someone that's got like a lot of fire, I think that would maybe be a turn off for her. So I'm gonna go with probably nothing but darkness. I'd kill to have a dragon.
Maybe not the best choice of words.
I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I've gotten anything inside me at all. Just darkness. Never-ending darkness.
And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on the island until you arrived. Perhaps I could light a torch and search through that darkness. Just as things are really heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped up on this strange island. Only to find that it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads.
It's very important that we stick to the itinerary, and we attend each event as scheduled. Playing sick for cute flirt points was not a part of this evening's activities. That's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll all be late. Playing sick? No, I was. No time for excuses. Well, there is, but they're scheduled for after what comes after the flirt. What the fuck? Go, 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 go. What the hell?
Once everyone has gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement.
Oh god, this is gonna be scary. I just know it. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, and we're not going to say who, so don't worry, you, hasn't been sticking to the schedule. That means we're behind on time for evening activities. And we only have time for one person to share their special spooky nighttime story.
Just one story? Story time is my favorite activity. This is a narrative-heavy experience. You're telling us that only one person gets to share? How will we decide who? Oh, great. We have to disguise as a group? This never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'll merely chop your head clean off. No fuss, no muss. Voice trembling, you realize that this is probably it for you. But you embrace your fate.
Sorry, everyone. I think they're talking about me. To be honest, I still don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. I guess I lost track of time while I was passed out.
Been there before. Even though it's taking some pressure off of me, which is an absolute dream come true. Is it really fair to pick on the newbie? Seriously, has anything ever happened here on schedule even once? Damn it, Donald. If you try to fix that authority gimmick one more time, so help me, I'll snap your head off so quick, and then I'll drown you in his blood, Cynthia. Fuss and Muss are back on. You two know I love to hack, slash, and slice. We all know you'll have to kill. It's almost all you talk about.
Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. I pronounced my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. But they even they even renamed him on here. But we still got to get started on story time. So, Billy, who do you think should go? Ah, damn it, that's a name. Please pick somebody quickly. Oh, sorry.
So that this tropical vacation doesn't turn into a bloodbath.
Spirit. I choose you, Spirit. You're my Pokemon.
Whoa. This entire experience carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with catchphrases, will you? Really? You want to hear from me? Spirit puffs and dramatically rolls her eyes. She gets to her feet in front of the campfire. Don't let her talk you out of it. She's great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it, but she comes up with scary stuff. Seriously disturbing even to me, and I literally guy's skull and spine out with my bare hands.
Oh, so he taught Sub-Zero how to do that.
Talk about bullshit stories. Everyone else is going to chit-chat. I guess I can sit down. Huntress's eyes go red behind her mask. Both Trapper and Rave take this. They know when it's worth fighting and when it's not.
Well, they said, saying never screw with the Huntress, ever.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but tonight's story is scary. It's a romance. Too late now, though. I was selected. I'm gonna tell my story. I call it A Prisoner's Kiss. You notice that Huntress and Rafe are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you any. It was a dark summer night. Warm rain steeped the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hatter, a celebrated investigator and renowned hostage, was called to the scene of a strange occurrence, unlike anything she'd ever seen. When she arrived, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen other officers were doing everything they could help to get jurors on the way. But how could anyone resist wanting to do more? For there, in the middle of the busy market, had appeared a giant box. Strange, alien in appearance, massive in size. No one knew how it got there. Was it delivered? Built on site in such a busy area? How could something like that just appear? Mystery. As if conjured up by magic. This is no illusion. The huge box was very real. Someone was trapped inside.
Someone?
Spirit pauses her story to look face to face with the audience. She has no expression, but you can feel her vibrating with energy. She's in her element. "Help me!" cried someone inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned, voice trembling. By now, it was as if every detective in the city was there, looking at the strange structure up and down, inspecting it on every side. It didn't make sense. There was no doors, no windows, no fasteners. It was completely solid, much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single small slit, just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside. "I don't know what happened. I woke up and here I was. I'm so scared. Please help me," cried the man, as if pleading for his life. No stranger to tense situations, Detective Hada comforted the man. She used her training to calm him and buy time for the other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety, as the night dragged on with no progress in opening the box. And as the night grew longer, seeping rain puddling around, the man inside grew more sad, lonely, more pathetic, in need of help. But Detective Hada was no help at all. Powerless to save him, guilt began to weigh on her like it never before. "Don't let me die in here," the man begged. "Don't let me die alone." "Stay calm," instructed Detective Hada. "You're not alone. I'm here. How half the town is here. We're all in this together, and we won't let this be the end of your story." Looking through that narrowest of passageways, Detective Hada watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of this strange, sad prisoner. Together, they both wept in silence at the hopelessness of the "Promise?" asked the man. "Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do." A simple pledge. She felt a connection, like she'd never felt before. Not to her family, nor to her friends, nor to any of the other hostages she'd worked so hard to free before. So when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hada, for she knew he would return, and he did, pressing his lips up to the narrow slit in the horrible puzzle box, repeating his question again, steam flowing from his mouth as he asked, "Promise? Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do." And pressing her palms against the cold outside the box, without truly knowing why, Detective Hada leaned forward and placed her own lips up to the opening, letting her breath the strange structure, allowing her warm lips to fall on the man's. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion. She could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing through every inch of her body, matched beat for beat, sound and touch. "Thank you," said the man, no trace of fear remaining in his voice, and he backed away into the darkness, hearing in a moment eerie calmness. "Get back!" yelled an officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hada and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be filled by a cacophony of whirling gears and clicking latches, a symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered as if an unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide open. Detective Hopper grabbed her flashlight tightly and pushed forward to the foggy interior of the giant box. Her feet splashed in the puddled rainwater, her heart racing as she swapped her light from side to side. And that's when her eyes landed on the man, or at least landed on what should have been. There in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll almost pulled apart, or perhaps that's just how Detective Hada had to think of him in that moment. By a collection of segments, limbs, pieces, disconnected from one another, cleanly severed and placed in a nice little pile. And atop that pile, a head, cold, pale, eyes open, lips an icy blue. Spirit stares at the fire, Her own expression lifeless, her lips, tears fall from her chin, soak into the sand feet. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you're not alone. Everyone else is looking into the fire or up at the sky. Anywhere but the spirit. It was you who chose. You who initiated this harrowing tale. So sad. So creepy. So sensual. She really went into great detail when it came to describing that kiss. Too much detail, and now...
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to give it to the devs' behavior for this one. That story for the spirit was incredibly well written, well thought out, had good dialogue. It took the tempo and the mood of what it needed to be. It did what it needed to do. And I think it really told, a real backstory for what the spirit has gone through.
Dwight and Claudette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. This game was supposed to be a light-hearted romp. Please, I said do something!
Say nothing, hug her, cool story, stand up and try to start one of those slow claps.
You stand and without saying anything approach Spirit, reaching your arms around her for a hug. Her robe, hovering in the air, begins to wrap itself around you and squeeze you into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but also like being tied up. Certainly not what you expected. Instinctually, you pull yourself away, but it's an awkward moment when you nearly fall over into the fire. Spirit says nothing, floats away without saying so much as goodbye. You, meanwhile, realize everyone's just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their eyes. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit, so they can all have a moment alone before bed.
Did I make the wrong choice?
Gulf State Wrestling presents Royal Shrimp Rumble 3 live September 3rd from Lawrence Park in Morgan City, Louisiana. And it's a free show! Come see great GSW action at the Louisiana Shrimp and Petroleum Festival.